Cabral and Jim Dandino today for you at the 43rd Annual New Bedford Half Marathon. Jim, we'll be on the men's truck, and there's a heavy favorite here today. It's Matt McDonald.
Yeah, I definitely think so. He seems to be the guy. 2:11 marathoner, finished 10th in the Olympic trials back in 2020. He's run 1:03 for the half marathon distance. You know, he's gearing up for another Boston Marathon, so I anticipate he's the heavy favorite here.
Yeah, a few other names to look for though, Jim. Brian Harvey, also with the BAA, and Eric Ash with Tracksmith.
Yeah. Brian Harvey and Eric, you know, they've been around the circuit for quite a few years now. You know, Brian's 34 years old and Eric's 33 years old. I mean, those are two guys that could be battling for the top five for sure, but you know, I think just Matt's the overwhelming favorite here.
So we'll be with the men throughout the race here today, and if Matt is well ahead of the pack, we'll have to give you updates regarding who we see in the second and third place positions. But again, Matt McDonald, the heavy favorite here today, the 43rd New Bedford Half Marathon. Missed 2 years, Jim, of course, with the issues with COVID, so it's good to be back here. We haven't been here for 2 years. Let's see what the race looks like today. As far as weather, Jim, of course, it's kind of a perfect day for runners. It's not too hot and it's not cold. There's obviously a lot of fog, but just right if you're really trying to run a fast pace.
Yeah, I mean, mid-50s, almost ideal. You know, really don't feel much wind. The fog's burning off here, so it's, you know, the running gods have looked down upon us today. It looks like an absolute perfect day today.
Okay, Jim Dandino, my name's Joe Cabral. We're going to go over to Chris Santos on the women's truck. Chris?
Okay, we are here at the 43rd New Bedford Half Marathon. Chris Santos, joined by Tom Diderian, and we are about 15 minutes away, Tom, before we get this marathon underway. As I said, it's the 43rd. Should have been probably the 45th because we've had 2 years off because of the COVID. How do you feel right now? And today, we're back to running finally after 2 years off.
It's terrific to be back to New Bedford because the city really goes out of its way to be hospitable to the race, to the runners. The streets, the traffic is closed. That doesn't happen everywhere.
That's correct.
And not only is the streets closed to traffic, but they've been swept clean. They're clean and closed and safe. It's wonderful. The city is terrific.
They've done a great job in their preparedness, and this is something that, you know, runners look forward to. This is, I believe, Tom, the second race of a 7 Series Grand Prix. Is that correct? Is that how it works?
That's right.
Where are some of the other cities that they actually?
The first Grand Prix was, confusingly enough, in Bedford, New Hampshire.
Okay.
So from Bedford, New Hampshire to New Bedford, Mass.
Right.
That was a 4-mile race.
Okay.
And some of those contenders will be here because the scores add up, and there's prizes for the total series scores.
Well, we have the expertise of Tom, and we're going to be following the ladies around in our truck to find out who's going to be able to win the half marathon. Tom, you got some names that we might be looking forward to as we get this race started?
Well, from Bedford, New Hampshire, Riley Kiernan and Abby Wheeler were the top runners there. And they should be in this race too, so we should look for them.
13.1 miles for our run here this afternoon. Stay with us. We're just moments away from our half marathon. We'll go back to Ed and Larry at the start-finish line.
And good morning and welcome to the 43rd Annual New Bedford Half Marathon here in downtown New Bedford. Larry Finitty's alongside Ahmed Pereira. It'll be our pleasure to bring you the call of this race on this beautiful morning. Well, not so beautiful right now. A lot of fog still in the greater New Bedford area. The runners are going to start out in winter, but by 11:53, it'll be spring, which means when they come to the finish line, we'll come into a new season. That'll be the spring season. It's also a rejuvenation time, Larry. 2 years this has been away, but we're back again.
It's great to be back. I think that the people, the runners especially, are very excited to be in New Bedford today because they've been training but not able to compete. So today, it's the first day of spring, and we're glad to have them in town.
And we're glad to have them back. And we also have back some competitors that did very well in the last race in 2019, including the winner in the men's division.
Yes. The first 10 finishes. 5 of them are back this year and have been training well. And they know the course, and that's a big advantage in New Bedford, knowing the course.
Larry, you've run this race. You've been associated with this race right from the get-go, 43 years long. There are a couple of guys here who have actually run all 43 years, or the 42 previous, I should say, getting ready for number 43.
Yes, that's true. 2 Acushnet residents, David LaPlante and Charlie Marshall, and they're back again this year.
They're guys that deserve a little extra round of applause when you see them on the course today.
Absolutely. To get through our winters and 43 years and counting, and it's been over 45 years now, the 43rd annual, so these 2 do deserve a lot of credit.
They certainly do. So we got the women's side too. The women, of course, they're going to have another great race here. The last time we saw this, a young lady was just coming back to start her training, and she ended up winning the race.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've got someone who's on one of the trucks today, the female truck. Spotter is Tom Dadarian, and he's coached many of these women for 30 or 40 years. And Tommy's going to be spotting and giving us time checks on the top women runners today.
So there's a lot going on here. It's going to be a great day. We've got coverage for you for both the men's and women's side. We're going to get the updates from them in just a few moments, but coming up next, it's time to get things started here at the New Bedford Half Marathon. So join us on this beautiful Sunday morning, around 50 degrees. The fog is supposedly going to burn away. We'll find out there. Should make for great coverage for our team. I wonder if a truck will get lost somewhere along the way. Will a runner find the wrong way, go somewhere else? It's the fog.
Follow the truck.
Follow the truck, okay.
Follow the truck.
Follow the truck, you'll be just fine. We'll be back with more right after this.
Okay. Hey, we are moments away for the half marathon, and we have 2 contestants right here, 1474, Madison Yerke, and 1487, Leanne Faber. Ladies, great day. It's going to be about maybe 50, 62 degrees is in between over there as the race goes on. How do you feel coming into this afternoon?
Feel great. It's a great time, great day. No wind, so that's great. I love that. It's our debut half marathon, both of us, so we're very excited to have it be here at the USHF.
Now this is the second series, correct? Did you do the first one up in Bedford?
We did not.
No, we didn't. Okay.
But some of our teammates did, so we're gonna have a big showing here.
Are they here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's here from Tracksman?
Riley
Riley?
Kiernan is here. Abby Paglia. I'm not sure exactly who all did the other one, but we have a good showing. I'm not even sure exactly how many of us are here.
Yeah.
Girls, what have you been doing to train for this one since it's kind of new to you, as you've been saying, and what have you been doing?
Yeah, a lot more mileage, a lot more long run workouts together, and just higher volume, really. Yeah, long workouts.
Well, let's watch out for these 2 right there, 1474 and 1487. Hopefully, while we're in the truck, we're going to be talking a lot about these 2 in the next hour or so.
It's with tremendous pride and honor that we welcome you back to the Whaling City in the Great American Road Race, the New Bedford Half Marathon. Please welcome your race director, Dan McCarthy. Hey everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight, stick around till tonight, it'll be fun. We really appreciate you all being here. We're a 100% volunteer race organization. Your participation makes this happen. So thank you for coming back. We haven't seen you since 2019, and you all look great. Have a wonderful race, and Andy's gonna get the thing started. All right, we're gonna recognize 3 runners. First of all, in 1985, running a 1:01:58 for the course record. Please welcome one of the all-time great runners, Jeff Smith. And 2 runners who have entered all 43 races, Dave LaPlante and Charlie Marshall. And if I could have your undivided attention, on February 23rd, 2020, the local running community lost one of its dearest friends, Ken Daniels. Ken was the New Bedford Half Marathon equipment manager and valued volunteer who could always be found at the start-finish line on race day. He was a great New Bedford track member for 45 years, a dedicated volunteer with the Fairhaven and the Cushing Road Race, along with many other local road races, a Navy veteran, an Explorer Scout leader, and a member of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. He will be greatly missed by all who had the pleasure of knowing him. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask for a moment of silence in the memory of Ken Daniels. Thank you. Now please welcome Miss Wheeling City, Kiana Fleming.
Hi everyone, I'm Kiana. I'm Miss Wheeling City's team. Thank you for coming out tonight. We're excited for you guys to be running, and I hope it goes good.
As part of her talent, the spoken word, a pageant winner, Miss Outstanding Teen, Hannah Lima, wrote this following poem, The Race You Run, NB 13.1.
Today, you're all here gathered on this beautiful day in the historic streets of New Bedford, and have come to run the half marathon from near and afar in our amazing city, and we welcome you all to MB 13.1. You are eager and ready to start the race as you have prepared for weeks, for months, or perhaps years. So take pride in your work you have done as you begin to run. Today, you all wear your own number and run as a promise you made yourself, a goal you have set, or just maybe you run to conquer your best. But today, while you run your own race, remember you run united, no matter where you place, because everyone runs their own race, each day, every day. We are blessed to live in a country where impossible is nothing more than a word in the dictionary, because in America, the possibilities are endless if you embrace the real race. So we must all run the race to be heard, to be understood. We run from racism to freedom, for tolerance and acceptance, and justice for all. We run to make our world a place where love and kindness fill our hearts. With the wind on your face and the wind on your back, the sun overhead, along the course of Brock Ave, Hawthorne Street to East South and West Rodney French, you have got what it takes to round the corner, up the hill to County Street and finish the race strong. So today, run united and be guided by the strength of community, while others run around the world for cover, for safety, and for peace. And when you cross the finish line and take in that breath of, I did it, let this remind you that hope and perseverance makes all things possible, and together we have the power to make this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you please to remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem, and please welcome recording artist, Miss New Bedford, Megan Silva.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so brightly revealed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Silva. And now, representing the city of New Bedford, please welcome City Council President Ian Abreu.
Good morning, New Bedford. I think we can do better than that. Good morning, New Bedford. Good morning. Wow, that's what I like to hear. On behalf of Mayor Mitchell, who sends his regrets, again, my name is Ian Abreu. I'm the president of the New Bedford City Council. On behalf of the New Bedford City Council, myself, Ward 1 Councilor Brad Markey, Ward 4 Councilor Derek Baptiste, Ward 6 Councilor Ryan Pereira, and at-large Councilor Shane Burgo. We all send our most heartfelt congratulations to all of you, and we are so pleased to have you here, especially those who aren't from New Bedford. Welcome to our home. Our home is your home. I want to make sure that when this race ends, you stick around, you go out to eat in our city, you visit our shops, our museums, and after all of that, you come back not only next year to run, but you come back often because we love to have you, and this is truly a city of one. Again, when you run this race, you're going to see, in my view, some of the best and most scenic views in all of New England. Take it in, take mental headshots, and I want you to really enjoy it because this city is one of the most beautiful in all of the world. All right, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And they are off indeed and running, and it's going to take a while to get to the back end of this. Larry, they're almost all the way back down to Union Street.
Just about every year.
And everybody looks like they're doing the t-shirts and shorts today, and it'll be a comfortable day for it as the sun starts to break out here in downtown New Bedford.
Perfect timing with Councilor Abreu. The sun just peeked out.
Larry, weather in around 50 degrees or so. Is this good running weather, or is it just about ideal? What's the ideal conditions?
Just about. You know, you don't want to get over 50, but, you know, the temperatures today are going to be good. There's not a lot of wind. That's the big issue in New Bedford, especially when they get down by the beaches. So far, it's been 1 or 2 miles per hour out of the southeast, but that should change from the west a little bit later.
Right, that's the part where we wait for. But as you see here, just watching everybody coming up to the start-finish line, already 1 minute in from the elite runners that are already left, and these guys are just starting a minute behind. And it's going to be a little bit longer than that for folks even further back.
Thank God
with the fire department.
Thank God with the technology now, there's no reason to push or to rush up to the front because you are being individually timed. Even though when you get to the starting line, you might turn around and see that it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It didn't start for your time because each individual person is timed.
Well, we're getting down towards the back end of this field right now, and we're already 90 seconds into this event. And so the final runners are just approaching here now as they get set. And they're looking at their watches saying, well, I'm not going to stop my time until I actually hit the start line, which is correct.
Exactly. They don't have to touch their watch or anything because they have an indicator on their number. And when they go over the mat, that's when their time will start for this race.
All right, and here come our last few coming up to the line right now, and there it is. Just about 2 minutes or so before they were able to start from the very beginning. That sounds about right, though, Larry.
Yeah, it's predictable, yes.
We figured about 1,500 to 2,000 runners today, and it looks like we're going to have all of that.
I think we'll be close to 2,000 runners, and for the first time back after a 2-year layoff, I think that's outstanding.
And I think it's interesting to see just how everybody responds after that 2-year layoff. However, it seems like training never stopped for a lot of these guys.
No, they just lacked the competition. They were able to train. They had empty roads to run on. They had masks sometimes, but they just couldn't get into competitions because no one wanted to stand in a crowd when the pandemic was on.
So we're off and running, and we'll be going to the race course in just a moment. Joining us right now, the president of the City Council in New Bedford, that's Ian Abreu. I knew him when he was a young lad, about this tall, and he would say, hello, Mr. Pereira. He doesn't say that, and he just goes, hi, Ed, how are you? But that's okay. He's the City Council president. We'll let it go right now. He's representing the mayor. Mayor feeling a little bit under the weather today. He couldn't be here to start this event. First of all, nice job on starting the event.
Well, thank you very much, Ed, and I learned from the best. You know, growing up, I got to hear your golden pipes on
yes.
WNBH radio, but no, it was great to be here And, you know, again, coming out of COVID-19, the last 2 years, of course, we couldn't have this great event. To see over 2,000 plus local athletes from all over the state, the country, and the world even come here to compete in this, it's a great thing to see. This has become one of the premier half marathons in the area, and we were honored to have everybody here today.
It was great to see everyone here, and it's good to see a lot of familiar faces too, and I think that's the other thing. The camaraderie around this event is amazing.
Well, it is, because New Bedford is a very inclusive, welcoming city, and we see these stories and we hear about these things all the time where folks from out of town, they'll come, they'll run here, and then they'll tell me or other counselors or other people, they end up finding themselves coming here often throughout the year to go out to dinner or to shop in our shops or to visit our museums or go to the Zeiterion Theater, for example, because people don't realize when they're navigating our streets, for example, in the South End, wow, I didn't realize New Bedford had these first-class beaches. Now they might want to come down here in the summer to kind of lay out and get your tan. I know I see you down there getting your tan during the summer.
There's only 2 seasons in the summer, you know that, right? Burning and peeling.
Burning and peeling, and I'm right there with you, Ed. But no, but in all seriousness, it's wonderful to see all the folks that come back to New Bedford that really want to invest in it once they see how great our city is.
It really is a great time had by all. So now that we've got this started here, now are you going to go out on the race course at all to see what's going on, or are you just going to stay here and wait for the finish?
I have to sit tight here because as the acting mayor de facto, I guess, today in the mayor's absence, I have to be here for the first men's and women's winners to crown them, I guess you would call, and give them their little trophies and awards. But I'll be around. I'll be getting updates. I know, I believe other media sources will be live streaming the event, so they'll be in the trucks and whatnot. So I'll be getting updates as we go along.
Fair enough. Good to see you once again, Ian. It's always a pleasure.
Good to see you.
Enjoy the rest of your morning and afternoon.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, let's get back to the race.
We've just passed the mile marker, and it looks like Matt McDonald at about 4:44 that first mile. You can see him now right near the women's truck, filming the women later on here as they make their way throughout the course. And you mentioned McDonald well ahead of the pack, anticipated to be well ahead of the pack at the finish line here today. He's already well out in front.
Yeah, not unexpected at all. I mean, it's a downhill first mile for the most part. I mean, 4:44 is about what we thought he'd be at. If he's looking to run something in the mid 104 range is about what I expect. We'll have to wait and see, how hard he decides to push. The miles when we get down by the down by the beach. But yeah, I expect him to run in the range of about 450 per mile here.
We are underway in our half marathon, a few miles out. Chris Santos with Tom Diderian, and we're going to pick up our first female Tom. She's coming in, she's wearing number 1453, and we'll check on her right now. Wearing the green right in front of us. That is Anne-Marie Tuxbury out of Newport, runs with the Green Racing Project.
She had run in the Olympic Trials Marathon in Atlanta, so she's definitely a contender.
Yep.
But Riley Kiernan should give her a race, but I don't see her.
Joining us right now, the race director of the New Bedford Half Marathon and our favorite friendly son of all, that's Dan McCarthy. And Dan, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, Ed. It's great to be here, and great to be here with Dr. Finnerty. Larry's been part of this race since day one. It's awesome to be here with him for another year.
Never been a year like this, though, Dan. With your hard work and the committee behind you, must be a big relief to get this started.
I'm over the moon. It's hard to express what it feels like to see people that you've seen every year at this race, and then you haven't seen them for 3 years, and then they come into the Y and they're giving you fist bumps, and if it's okay, they're going to give you a hug, and it's been a wonderful 2 days. We had registration yesterday and today from 8:30 to 10:30. It's been it's an emotional day. It's awesome. It's really great.
You know, when we look at the total number of runners, I know you probably hoped for 1,500, but I think we get at least 2,000 out here.
yeah. So you know, we're happy, right? We're happy. We understand that not everybody felt comfortable to come back to running in large groups right now. But for the people who came back, it means the world to us. We're happy to have you, and we want you to come back next year. And we're going to keep building on this tradition that's been going on, you know, 45 races.
It's like 11:18, if I'm not mistaken. We'll try to get a close-up on that number. Caitlin Kellner from the Craftsbury Green Racing Project. She's out of Brighton, Mass. So she's in second right now. That's Caitlin Kellner.
This is rather surprising.
Yep.
The Craftsbury is up there.
So Craftsbury, she's from Brighton, Mass. This is the Green Racing Project from actually Vermont. So she's in second place right now.
Would expect some Tracksmith runners and some BAA runners to make themselves evident.
We're passing yesteryear's cyclery here on Hathaway Road. Joe Cabral and Jim Dandino with you here on the men's truck.
Yeah, he's right on pace now in that 450 range right now. We're going to go up a little bit of a hill here, probably the toughest hill of the race here on Hathaway, and we might see the second pack splinter a little bit, you know, halfway up the hill or so, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But it looks like about a pack of 3 or 4 have formed about 30 seconds behind Matt.
Larry, let me ask you and have Dan talk about this too. When you thought back 43 years ago, did you say, yeah, we're going to have something that's going to last for half a century here?
Well, with the people that we had at the committee, they would stick with it because they're very resilient and they wouldn't let it go. If every city's a puzzle, there's been a piece missing for 2 years, and this guy brought it back.
It's, you know, like we stand on the shoulders of giants who came before us, right? We were honored to be the Friendly and Larry is a member of the Friendly Sons, and we were incredibly honored that we were considered to be the host organization. And we had 1,000 volunteers out on the course today. You know, it's just exciting, and everyone's so happy to be back. And you know, it was weird last year. You know, 2020 we were geared up, we were ready, and it just stopped. And then last year it was a void, and now that void has been filled. And I think everyone, you know, everyone to a man in the organization and woman on the committee, they're more invigorated now today than they have been at any point in the recent past in regards to, you know, making the race a success and doing whatever they can to make sure that we can organize this race as a volunteer effort and just put forth what I really believe is the finest regional road race in New England.
You can see Whirl Away in front, 1748, and she snuck in right behind him, try to block a little bit. I kind of like how they do that.
That's quite clever.
Yes, it is quite clever. So Anne-Marie Tuxbury, you gain a little bit from there. Stay on that. Even though you really don't have a partner, Tom, but you could know someone from another club and that you might have trained with a little bit and say, hey, if I can stay with you, maybe I'll tuck in with you and work together. How often does that happen?
I suspect she did not ask permission.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't.
We've just made the turn onto Rockdale Avenue, Jim, and again you see Matt McDonald here. Made it successfully up the hill, Hathaway Road, that very steep portion before you make the turn onto Rockdale Avenue. And now a good downhill stretch coming up here for Matt.
Yeah, I think these are the fastest miles of the races from about, you know, we're just past 3.5 miles all the way until, you know, 8.5 miles. Those are probably the fastest miles of the race here before we have to turn by Fort Tabor. But he looks really smooth, you know, he's running very relaxed, you know, the training he puts in, I mean, well over 100 miles a week, you know, training for the Boston Marathon. So he's a very strong athlete. So I anticipate he's just going to continue to extend this lead as we continue on in the miles here. And it looks like he's even extended it now. I mean, he looks more than 30 seconds ahead right now.
I would say second place is gaining on
big
first.
time. Oh, yeah, this is at least down to almost 10 seconds probably from the 15 that she had. So she has made some ground coming up Hathaway Road. No doubt about it. And Tom, you've done this for so long. What's a good mile split that these girls are looking at? Probably.
They should be around 5:20, 5. That would be very good. 5:30 is more likely. Men, well, the leader is charging along well under 5 minutes a mile.
I think he's going to be a little off his personal best today, which is 1:03.56 for the half marathon distance. But having run it all by himself, if he can run a little under 1:05, that'll be a great effort for him today.
And now we can see the pack on this straightaway behind Matt McDonald.
Let's see if now we get a little bit closer from the back. Coming up is Keller.
Definitely, the hunt is on.
Oh yeah. So Kellner from Brighton, Mass. Trying to make her way too.
Now, on the women's side of things, they are just starting to approach that Rockdale Avenue area now. Now, when you look at this right now for the women, your feelings over there?
They shouldn't be too far behind the men because there's some really top women today. Tommy Didarian is on the truck following the women, and he'll be able to give us those names and the times when we come by the 3 and the 4 mile mark.
Well, speaking of him, let's join him and Chris Santos right now on the women's truck as we follow the leaders there.
This is what it's all about for New Bedford. As you heard Ian Abreu talk to the runners before they left, and he said to them, it's not only a city of runners, but a city that you can come back to in the future, whether it's a year from now, whether it's 2 months, and have some fun down here. So hopefully some of these runners stay here for the weekend time and enjoy our city.
Well, she's certainly got a lot of experience. She knows what she's doing. The runner behind is newer to the sport and may be about to make a breakthrough. It's so terrific how all the people turn out for this race.
Yeah. They close the streets, they come out and they watch and they'll sit and see and have some friends that might be running and cheer them on as well with signs and flags, cowbells.
This race has become a tradition in New Bedford, like the Boston Marathon has become a tradition in those towns it goes through.
So you can see, as we've traveled the early part of the course here, the first 5 miles, you can see some patchwork on the roads and such, but it's been a pretty smooth ride for us, and certainly that means it's been a smooth ride for the runner and the leader here, Matt McDonald.
Yeah, he just continues to run consistently. He ran that mile in 4:51. He's looking very smooth. As I stated earlier, this is the fastest part of the course here by Buttonwood Park here. A number of people have come out to watch today. It's been great, just after 2 years of not having the race. It's great to see all these people come out.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people waving at us, calling your name. I mean, me, they just wave at. They probably remember me from past races or seen me on television, but hey, Jim. So, it has been great to see all the people out here today. The weather is cooperated. In fact, now you mentioned earlier, prior to the race, we were thinking the fog would burn off, and it certainly has. Blue skies, just light clouds up above, and a leader down here below who isn't letting anything stop him at this point.
Heather looks like she's got a little bit more movement in her strides compared to Tuxbury. So we'll keep an eye on that as this race continues on. Get near Buttonwood Park now, Tom, and I'm sure a lot more fans will be in that area to cheer these people on. As we said, a lot more people down here at Buttonwood Park.
I think I see a third woman coming up.
Okay.
And I think that may be Riley Kiernan from Tracksmith. But you didn't bring a telescope.
Joe Cabral and Jim Dandino here with you again on the men's truck, and we see Matt McDonald at mile 6 continuing to be well ahead of the pack.
These two runners have been from the start. That's who we've been watching. As Tuxbury once again gets right behind two runners, sneaks right in, 12:71. Looks like 7:53, I believe, for the men running.
No, we're approaching halfway.
Yeah.
But it's not over till it's over.
Oh no, plenty of time left here. At least another 7 miles or so.
nice cool day, not overly warm, but part of the city, obviously right over the ocean where that fog hasn't burned off yet. And you can see Matt and the next mile marker. So
yeah,
what,
about
what did we have there, Jim?
34:15 at 7 miles, about 34:15. So he ran that mile in 4:46.
And Tom, knowing that, are you worrying about right now just keeping my pace of what I do? Or do you start to think about the person ahead of you and say, okay, maybe I can gain a little bit more in this next mile? How do you feel? Just stick with what you're doing, maybe they'll drop back, or do you start to make that next move?
The truly consummate runners and competitors put themselves into the heads of their competition.
Okay.
You don't think just about yourself.
Right.
You have to think what's going on with the other person.
So you think Tuxbury knows she's got someone right on her tail and someone behind her, and how she needs to stay in front?
She may be listening to the crowd. Sometimes you get a clue from the crowd. They may be shouting, "Second woman."
Right.
But this gap seems not to be changing.
No, it's anywhere between 10 and 15 seconds, and that's the way it's been for a long time as these two continue to lead as we get through Dartmouth Street and Rockdale Ave. That's where we've just passed. Tuxbury has bypassed the water for a few of them. She has not done anything with the water pot.
39:06.
She's tucked right in nice now behind some men. There's Tuxbury. Not alone, she's got one and she tucks in behind someone as well. That gap now has tightened, Tom.
I think so.
Tuxbury has fallen just a little bit off the pace, and Kellner is starting to make the catch up. So this is interesting as we're getting down to the nitty gritty of hitting the beach, and it's gone down to maybe 7 seconds, even maybe closer than that. So Kellner's starting to make her move.
Definitely. I have to confess to you
Yes.
that the guy in the red
Yep.
moving up is my nephew.
Okay. There you go. He's waving to you, Tom. So he knows you're there. And I'm
he's
telling you, we're going to have ourselves a new leader. Now, I don't know if Tuxbury knows it, but she's going to see it now. And she tries to tuck in. But Kellner has now made her move. And she could be moments away to be now the leader.
I think that moment has come.
It is.
And it came quickly.
Outside, it sure is. Tuxbury knows it as she kind of
Tuxbury is tucked in behind her.
has. Kellner from Brighton, Mass. Is our leader. So now, if you're Tuxbury, Tom, how do you look at it now that you've just been passed? Do you kind of reserve and then wait, or do you say, hey, I got to get back up here and get moving a little bit more?
If she could have gone with her, she would have.
Okay.
And it's over.
Sure.
Caitlin Kellner
Yep.
is more than just a hero in this race. She is, in fact, an actual hero. She was an Olympic trials qualifier.
Okay.
She's running by the Chestnut Hill Reservoir,
Okay.
and she sees a man who had fallen into the reservoir.
Oh, Jesus.
And she pulled him out.
Wow.
And she saved him.
That's
I mean, there is a value in being an endurance athlete.
Sure can. Well, maybe they'll get that story at the finish line if she can hold on and win this one,
Yeah.
unless someone comes later on in this race to take over. But right now, it is all her, and she has a big lead right now as we're into our almost 47th minute here at the 43rd New Bedford Half Marathon.
He's not slowing down at all. I mean, I'm sure he's got 105 on his mind right now, and he looks very, very good right now. He looks strong, and he looks pretty determined at this point.
Tom, have you been here for all 43 of these?
No.
No. Okay. But quite a few, let's say.
Well, I first came to race here on this street
Okay.
In the 60s, late 60s, when I was young and handsome. And the race was a 30K race. So it started roughly the same place,
Yep.
but went out into Fairhaven, Acushnet, looped 6 miles, then came back on this course.
Right.
There seems to be no wind today.
No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. This has been a great
A little fog in the air.
afternoon, yep, to midday.
I doubt if I could design faster long distance racing conditions
Yeah.
than this. It's not dry, it's not hot, it's not raining, but there's moisture in the air.
As we pass our cable access studios on our left, you're watching it on the New Bedford Cable Network.
Great job! You got this!
Grab a little water now. 56 minutes now, Tom. What is a good, let's say, I'm not going to say average, but a very good time when you finish a half marathon?
For the top woman, 112.
12.
Our top man is likely on the final hill now. I suspect this race will be very encouraging for her.
Oh, absolutely. This, by winning this, your experience, your expertise maybe just moved up a notch and said, hey, this is someone that can contend in no matter what she gets involved in.
Well, this race is considered the New England Championship. Right. So she would be the New England Half Marathon champion.
We are making our way toward the finish line. Last 4 minutes or so of the race, at least as far as the men are concerned, and the leader is concerned, Matt McDonald. So Jim, we'll keep it here for the remainder of the race, and Matt McDonald's performance has not disappointed. When I first met you this morning, you said there would be one contender for this race, one person who could win the race, who would win the race. You told me it was Matt McDonald, and if we would have been in Las Vegas, we should have put some money on it.
I think it was easy to predict considering his credentials, but he certainly performed up to par, in my opinion. I think he's still looking, in the 64:40 range, so he's got about 2.5 minutes to run that time. I think he's going to go flying down the hill here, and we'll see how much he's got left.
Again, about 2 minutes or so away from the finish line. And Matt McDonald has led it from start to finish.
Tom, when we take this right and we start to head up, what's the mindset right now? And Caitlin, knowing that she's got a good lead and knowing that this race is hers as long as the body stays the way it should?
Well, there's a temptation to want to go for a fast time.
Correct.
And then there's some common sense that says maybe I should just defend my position.
He really went well up the hill, so he's going to be well under that 104.40 I had mentioned. So he's going to be just over 104 here.
Yeah, we'll have to check and see here as he makes his way down. Really making the pace well ahead of the pack. Matt McDonald.
Now we see one runner coming and one right behind him. Now we have a little battle for second and third.
Third, sure. Let's see how this comes out here.
Our second and third runners.
2 and 16:20 are second.
Timothy Gill, Western Mass District Project, and Joshua Calapas.
Max McNeil.
From Parkmead, New England. Ryan Harvey, Belmont, the Boston Athletic Association.
These are top New England runners coming in around 5 minutes per mile pace on a great day in New Bedford.
seems very confident, very strong down the stretch.
She has obviously been training on hills.
Oh yeah. We got about 1:10 now in our time. As getting close to that finish line, and Tom, when you can feel it at the end, it's just such, it's such mental to say, hey, this is what I've been training for, this is what I've been working for, and you're just sitting back going, come on, let's just get here.
We're on the running racing circuit. Some people are making money, some people are just competitive and trying to move up in the standings. And you can't go out and do it on your own. You need to be in a competitive situation where there's protection, and there's great protection in New Bedford at intersections. So you really can't go out and do this and train by yourself. You've got to be in a competitive situation.
Right hand turn. Finish up, and they know they got themselves a women's champion in front of them. They're rooting her on as she comes down the hill. But Caitlin Keller from Brighton, Mass. and the Grassbury Green Racing Project is going to be your New Bedford City Half Marathon winner this afternoon. Let's see if Anne-Marie Tuxbury can finish in second place. And here she comes now, Tom.
Yes.
She's making a good push here at the end. as well.
Certainly sprinting, and
Yes, she is, and she's going to finish in second place. From Newport, Rhode Island, in the Green Racing Project, number 1453, Anne-Marie Tuxbury. And Tom, let's see if we see maybe some of the runners you had mentioned earlier creeping up now into third and fourth and fifth place as we finish this 43rd New Bedford Half Marathon.
City Hall. It's my pleasure to be here. Again, my name is Ian Abreu. I am the president of the New Bedford City Council. This is a tremendously wonderful event here that we've embarked on here this afternoon and this morning, and it gives me great pleasure to honor the top 3 finishers in both the men's and women's divisions for our annual New Bedford Half Marathon. Again, I can't thank the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick enough for continuing to take the ball and run with it here in the city of New Bedford, really take the lead and organize this beautiful event, which turned out to be a fantastic day here in the Wayland City. And furthermore, with that being said, I'll kick it over to my good friend Chris Donnelly on the board of directors of the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. I know he has a few remarks he'd like to deliver.
Like you said, everyone in the room, congratulations to all the winners. I think today is a great day for us, and it's 3 years and we're on the race. We thank all the city workers, the police department for the wonderful job they did, the EMTs. I think today was a great day for us, and I'm glad we're a winner for the fastest time since 2009. It's unbelievable. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And as I posted on social media earlier, all of you here in the room and the 2,000 plus runners we had today, you were inspiring to me to get in better shape and to run, to do things. And my good friend Councilor Pereira over here to my right, he had made the joke earlier. I think all New Bedford City Councilors are going to partake in this next year.
Well, we're going to do it like flags.
We're going to do it like flags, okay? Little by little, there's 11 of us, and it's 13.1 miles. So we have to figure out who gets
the president.
The president does.
The president.
Boy, see, I get an honor.
I got a soul. I ain't got a leg, man.
I'm honored to be joined by my friends and colleagues in government. We have Derek Baptiste here, who is the Ward 4 councilor. This is his district in Ward 4. We have Ryan Pereira, of which all of you who had ran today, you know that area about the beaches that you ran? That's his district in Ward 6. And Shane Burgo, like myself, was a councilor at large, where any part of the city is represented by us. So, but I'm so pleased you're all here. So without further ado, we'll start, I believe, Chris, with the women's winners. Yeah. We'll present you with your trophies. We'll call you up one at a time. So we'll start with the third place finisher in the women's division. We have Amy Tuatarello, who came in at 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 24 seconds from Watertown. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations. Congratulations. Between all of us right here.
Sorry, it's so very
sweet. It's okay. Next up, we have the second place finisher in the women's division, Anne Marie Touchberry, who came in at 1 Congratulations. Congratulations. I guess Councilor Burgo's the collector. And finishing up in first place with a time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 50 seconds, hailing from Brighton, Mass., we have Caitlin Kellner. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you.
All right, time for the men's division. Coming in at third place from Somerville, Mass. with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 21 seconds, we have Joshua Kolopos. Congratulations. 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 Congrats again. Alrighty, coming from East Boston, Massachusetts, with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 19 seconds, we have Timothy Gill. Alright, come on in. You're gonna take a photo here, right? Oh, we can go home now, I'm just kidding. Coming in first place in the men's division, and as my friend Chris Donnelly mentioned, the fastest time recorded in the New Bedford Half Marathon since 2009, with a time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 17 seconds from Cambridge, Massachusetts, Matthew McDonald. I heard about the time in 09. I don't have that. Next year, right? Thank you, congratulations. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you all again to all of our participants here in the city of New Bedford. God bless the city of New Bedford. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much.